Hey, what's up, YouTube? Marty from Team Peace and Pass, and today I want to do something a little bit different and break down what the cost is to own a master set just from opening packs of both a main set like Distorted Reflections and a prediction set roughly of Phantom Monarchs. So, additionally, we're going to talk about some changes that we feel would be beneficial to packs, right? The future packs, how it would feel, and kind of break down some of those things. So, I wanted to start by taking a look at Mortal Ambition on the left and DTR on the right, kind of just looking at the rarity distribution. There are a lot of rares, frankly, in my opinion, and quite a few super rares. So you can see that they have shifted downward a little bit, 53 instead of 55 and 30 instead of 32, making people able to not have to open as many cards, so they're kind of steering in the right direction for that. As far as HVN, in comparison to Phantom Monarchs, you do have an increase in rares, but a significant decrease in super rares. So that's going to be a huge benefit and savings to our wallets, having to open 4 copies of a main deck card as a super rare. So, taking a look at Mortal Ambition and Distorted Reflections, what Grand Archive has been doing with these two sets as far as Regalia and other things like that, because it does affect the ratio, right? If it's a main deck, you need 4. If it's a Regalia, you just need 1. Well, for uncommons, Mortal Ambition had 59 with no Regalia. Now Distorted Reflections had 59 with 13. That's a huge change as far as how many copies of an uncommon that you need. And a lot of it was tailored to the Looking Glass, yes, but having that switch up of things like that makes it so it's a little bit easier to open up. Same thing with rares. You had 55 with 3 versus 53 with 10. So a decrease of 2 rares, but it is an increase as well of Regalia. Something that you're only getting 1 rare per pack versus the uncommons you're getting 2. So having to get several less copies really makes a difference. As far as super rares, they had 32 and 5. Distorted Reflections had 30 with 6. Because of that, so it actually had 1 extra slot, one of them being Alice, and a couple less super rares. Now, as far as ultra rares, that's the only thing that increased, because you had 8 with 4 versus 8 with 3. So that does mean that you have to open a few more boxes to acquire everything. So, as far as Distorted Reflections, how many boxes do you have to open in order to acquire a master set perfectly, if you open perfect? Uncommons, you get 2 per pack, so it's about 4 boxes, where A and B, you had to have 5. As far as rares are right now are rare plus slots, so that's 10.7, basically 11 boxes, where Mortal Ambition was about 12 and a half. Super rares, because of 6 per box, you have to open 17 boxes of Distorted Reflection, or 20 boxes of Mortal Ambition. And then lastly, as far as ultra rares, because of that 1 Regalia shift, you have to open 23 boxes of URs in order to acquire everything perfectly, because of 1 per box, where Mortal Ambition was only 20. That's a lot of boxes to open if you think about it. It's 4 cases for ultra rares, essentially, 3 cases for super rares if you open perfectly. Now, as far as Phantom Monarch goes, same kind of ratio breakdown. What we did, though, is because of the shift that Immortal Ambition to Distorted Reflections increasing Regalia, we decided to do the same from HVN to Phantom Monarchs. So as far as uncommon, your average basically is going to, because there's only 1 per pack, because of the amount of ratio changes, so you only get 1 uncommon inside sets. That's 7.9 boxes, basically 8 boxes for the uncommons. Rares, same number breakdown. Because of that slot replacement, you have to open about 10.5. Super rares, 91 super rares, 6 per box. That means you have to open just over 15 boxes. And ultra rares, as far as Regalia, left it at 4 because HVN had the dual facing stuff. 24 boxes, so 4 cases open perfectly. So what that breaks down to is Distorted Reflections, about 23 boxes or 4 cases, because you got your little buffer box. That's 500. If you spend about $500 roughly for a case, it could be lower, it could be higher. $2,000. As far as Phantom Monarchs goes, 24 boxes, same thing. you are spending $4,000 on a set for a main and a side set to have a master set if you open perfectly. That doesn't account if you don't. So this is where divulging into the next little segment of what changes can be made that would be beneficial to pack opening. So, what changes would I make to packs? That way, it feels a little less warranted to spend $4,000 between two sets. The first thing I would do is you change your main set guaranteed 15 cards. You change your side sets to 12. Um, Main sets are going to have a lot more reprints in them, so you have that little bit of a buffer. They're going to have an introduction of more cards, things like that. Side sets have 8 cards per pack, increasing to 12. One feels a little bit better. There's a couple of reasons for that too. So the first one is uncommons to 2 in a side set. So you only get 1 currently right now. Increasing that to match the main makes it so that way you're not having to chase all of these uncommons and trying to open all this stuff. Increasing rares across the board to 2 per pack, with 1 of them being rare plus. It feels really bad. Where we bought HVN, each of us bought 3 cases, and we were still missing rares. I mean, I actually bought more than 3 cases. I bought like 3.5 cases because I bought a few from our local shop. To miss rares on like $1,800 in product feels terrible. So increasing rares to 2 per pack, and then one of those be that rare plus replacement. So if you open an ultra rare or a super rare or whatever, that way you're guaranteed to get a rare in every pack, plus possibly more at that point. Increasing super rares to 7. It's just 1 extra card, 1 extra slot. It really does help dramatically kind of bring that down and cool it off a little bit. And then increase your ultra rares to 2 per box and focus on chase cards. This I'm going to go over next, but that's a huge thing, and focusing on cards that people want to open is definitely something that should be changed a little bit. My own little thing, increase foils to 5. I think if you're covering the whole set for foils, it makes it really bad to only open 3. I think increasing to 5 is really great. So, let's talk about this ultra rare thing now. I want to take a look at DTR. So these are the 8 DTR ultra rares. You have Vortex, Deuce, Vega, Excalibur, Chrono Warp, Malice, Cat, and Looking Glass. The problem is that looking at these, how many are actually seeing meta play? Vortex, not really. Deuce, not really. Diana hasn't had their time to really shine because of the Wild package, so maybe Radiant Vega will be played. Malice is kind of seeing some play in sealed decks. And Chrono Warp is garbage, just to be honest. So you have your 3 most expensive ones. Excalibur, it's kind of seeing play. People are playing it in like Jin and stuff to copy Challenge the Blood and some other niche things that people are copying, but nobody's really actually playing it. So you're only 2 that are seeing viable play. Cheshire Cat and Looking Glass, because they go together. That feels terrible when you're opening cards and you're like, I bought this entire $90 or $100 box that I spent my paycheck on, and you open up packs and you open a Chrono Warp. That doesn't feel great. Ultra rares, in my opinion, are supposed to be this bread and butter, and they shouldn't be 45 cents. I mean, I totally get, having a $5 one or a $6 one or something because people don't want to buy it, but you shouldn't have 5 of your cards under $10 just because they're not seeing play. So what would I change? I'm going to take this from a Yu-Gi-Oh aspect because I played Yu-Gi-Oh for about 15 years. The biggest thing that Yu-Gi-Oh did is they have secret rares, which is the ultra rare slot, and they focus on the main archetypes of what is going to be played. And this does warrant Weaves of the Shore to have a little bit more playtesting to better understand what card's going to be the hot button. So let's take a look at it. I chose Liminal Guide for the Spectre package. Everyone can argue Ryle is the bread and butter of it for the draw, but I want to focus on the ally, the one that is getting the benefit from playing Ryle, but Ryle's gone now. So, this is the card that you make an ultra rare for the Spectre package. Now, let's take a look at suited. Suited, I just chose the Ace of Hearts because it's like the one drop um, girl. You can obviously choose Nor, you can choose whatever with that one, but you want to have one of your like bossy characters in that one focused on being the slot. You could do the Queen. The Queen is actually probably one of the better examples. Um, so you have your Spectre and your suited archetypes. Now, one thing that Weebs does, like Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't, is each set introduces a deck, a structure deck, or a um, recollection. So because of that, these are technically, I'm going to classify something in the archetype aspect as well. Weaving Mana Stream is a great and excellent option for Diana, something that's played in every single one of them. For Water Diana, an excellent choice for a chase card for an ultra rare. I chose Baleful Oblation. You could choose whatever you wanted in the seal. I just kind of thought, well, this is kind of like one of those end cards, and you can see that with the Advent combo, things like that. So these are your decks and archetype specific ultra rares. Then, like Yu-Gi-Oh does, and that's why I brought up Regal Inquisition, Yu-Gi-Oh focuses on one, like a main deck card, like something that everyone can play, something that is going to probably see play. Regal Inquisition is the best choice with this because either people are maining it, siding it, abusing it, whatever the case may be, is a very solid choice for that. And then the last thing, this is just more of a personal take, I would select a reprint card, something like Resolute Stand that was in the set. Give it that full artwork, make people excited about it. It's an older card that's not in print anymore. People would be really excited to open up and be like, cool, I have 4 full art Resolute Stands. And then you have your foils that people are going to chase after. So these 6, plus Looking Glass, Devouring Malice, and Radiant Vega, those are your 9. You have your 3 Regalias, and you have your 6 choices for main deck. Now, yes, that does increase how many Ultra Rares you have to get, which is why we increased it to 2 per box, which is something that Yu-Gi-Oh also does. You get 2 Secret Rares per box now, and so that you would get 2 Ultra Rares per box. So what does this break down when you change it at the end of the day? Uncommons, by having 2, you just need about 4 to 5 boxes. It's depending on the math and how it works with the number. Rares, you actually only need 4.5, basically 5 boxes. So a case should get you about all of your rares, and that's how you should feel, right? Rares are less than $1 a card, with only a few of them being up there. But then that's where opening one case should feel good about that. Super rares, instead of having to open 15, 16, 17, 20, whatever the number is, just a little over 2 cases. And then for ultra rares, because of you increase it to 9, you have 6 of them be main deck, 3 of them be Regalia. Your ultra rare wise, instead of having to open 24 boxes, you now only have to open 14. So the benefit of all of this, at the end of the day, is you are having more players come to the game. You have more people wanting to buy the product. This also allows, yes, it does decrease your current consumer purchasing habits. They don't have to buy 4 cases. They're probably only going to buy 3, 2 to 3. But now with more players coming into the game, they're going to offset it by buying those cases. So if I buy 3 instead of 4, but the person next to me is also buying 3, you just sold 2 more. So it increases that. And it's also increasing the value of what people are opening, getting people excited. So that on average is about $1,200 opening perfect if you only buy 2 cases and then you're a couple extra boxes. $1,500 if you buy 3 cases. So yes, you're still spending about $3,000, but at the end of the day, that's saving you money as the consumer. They're going to be selling more product, more people come into the game, and it makes people feel easier to get into it. I don't have to sit here and spend $2,000 every time a set rolls out just to get everything. I can spend $1,000 and get majority of it, and then slowly work on opening boxes and packs throughout the season to acquire the rest of it. That just makes everything feel a lot better. But that's going to do it, guys, for me. Hopefully it was interesting for you, kind of breaking down some of those numbers, some of the changes, what should be changed. Thanks for watching. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, peace.